Okay. All right, so whenever you're ready.
All set.
Okay. All right, so the first thing we want to do is set your microphone levels for the people that are going to be in studio. So you would set microphone 1's level and mute it. Number 2, mute. And number 3, mute. And now you have those levels for the first guest, second guest, and third guest ready to go. Second thing you want to do is set the levels for your opening and closing and any roll-ins you might have. And those are going to come up on VTRA on channel 1 and channel 2. So you want to make sure both of those come up. And what we can do is we can play the opening we have right now on VTRA. So we would play it here and wait for it to start.
Program was produced by an independent community
and what you want to do is you want to get it so the levels are right around the top of the green but not touching the yellow.
Qatv,
if it hits the yellow on occasion, that's okay, but you want to try to make sure that they don't hit the yellow a lot. So we'll bring it down just a little bit to give a little bit of a breathing space.
You feel it?
So now we know our opening levels are pretty good, and we can mute those levels as well for the beginning of the show. And we're gonna just stop playing our opening here. We'll cue it back up. So now it's at the beginning for our show as well. So when the show is ready to start, you're gonna hit record here. And sometimes you might see this AJA. It's almost like a screensaver or sleep mode. You wanna hit record, it will wake it back up, and hit record again. The light will turn red and the numbers will start to count up. That way you know it's recording. It won't go back to sleep when you start recording. It will always continue to record. But if nothing's happening for a while, it will go into AJA. So just hit record, record again, and again now your numbers are rolling and your light is lit up, so now you're all set. So that's ready to go. First step again would be to play our opening. So we want to unmute our opening on VTRA. And then we would play our opening on VTRA up here for our audio. For the video portion, we want to have VTRA selected on our switcher.
The program was produced by an independent community.
We have our audio bouncing here, just below the yellow.
Reflect those of the Qatv staff or board of directors. Qatv, in compliance with FCC regulations.
On the video portion, we can preview camera 2, and that's where our guests will all be seen ready to go.
You feel it?
At this point, we want to tell everyone in studio, the 3 guests, quiet on the set because we're going to open up your microphones. So we can open up our microphones 1, 2, and 3. We're going to get ready to bring these down when the opening is done. And we're going to get ready to go to camera 2 on the video. And we're going to count down our hosts, 3, 2, 1, and cue our hosts. Our hosts start talking in studio now. Our levels on the audio are up. We want to make sure that the levels are still good. They might have got excited with the show opening, so we need to bring them down a little bit or adjust it a little bit as there. You want to watch those levels throughout the show because their levels might go up and down as they're talking throughout. And again, if they sneeze, they cough, they laugh, or say something loud, and over on the meters over here, it goes into the yellow, that's okay. If it hits the yellow, not a problem. If they start staying in the yellow, that's where you need to say, all right, we need to bring microphone 3 down because they're talking a little bit louder than we had. So we would bring it down and we have it like that. And now your show is in process. You're just monitoring all the levels for 1, 2, and 3. And whoever's sitting behind the switcher is now previewing camera 1 for our guest and then going to camera 1 on our guest. Previewing camera 3 for our next guest, going to camera 3. Switching when they're talking between the cameras. The bottom row is our preview row. So you can do all your work and previewing down here. And the middle row is the program row, or what's live on, what's being recorded and what people will see at home when they're watching at home. So again, you would preview camera 1, then you can cut to camera 1, and that's what people see at home. Preview camera 2, cut to camera 2 at home. And now you're just going to be kind of doing that again, following who's talking throughout the show to see who's talking and getting that camera on the air so you can see what they're doing like that. And that's kind of this left side of the control room that people will be doing for the show.
Okay. If you're doing the intro and you have VTA preset,
Yep.
and do you press VTA for a program or no?
For the video, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So you would have your audio levels up here for the audio board.
Yep.
And then on the switcher, VTRA as well.
Okay.
So now when it plays, you'll see it come up on the screen for people to see it at home.
Okay.
So you want to have those up, and then on the switcher, VTRA. And again, for the beginning of the show, preview camera 2, because that will be what you're going to go to next after your opening is done.
And then you press cut to go to that.
Yep,
and
you can hit-
and it'll automatically switch.
Yep, you can hit cut, or you can use the bar here, and that will get you between both of them like that as well.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, so you have couple different options to go between cameras during the show.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sure.